Hello, and welcome to another episode of Ask an Assistant, the podcast for executive assistants and the people that love us. I'm your host, Jess Lindgren. Let's get to work. This week's episode is a new installment in the Importance of Language series. The first two episodes in the series are Ask an Assistant number 25, which was on the topic of going up and down the calendar, and episode Ask an Assistant number 40 about specificity when you are making requests in the workplace. Both were kind of calendar related, inciting incidents, if you will. But being specific is, I cannot stress the importance of being specific when you're making requests to and of people in the workplace. Both of those episodes are linked in the show notes. And today we will be talking about my personal practice of saying I work with my executive rather than for my executive. And the way that this came around is the last full-time in-office executive assistant role I had. This would have been pre-2014. I was definitely working for that organization and for my executive. I was underpaid, underutilized. My time was not respected at all. My executive was extremely micromanagey, and I had, let's just say, no interest or confidence in the company's future. It was not a difficult decision to leave that role, and one that honestly I am so grateful for the lessons that I learned during my time there, and even more grateful for everything I learned since I left. And when I left, I vowed never to work for someone again and would only take a role where I was paid fairly. My skills would not only be fully used, but I would be challenged and learning new things. My time had to be respected. Like, that was not negotiable, meaning if I'm off at 5 o'clock, I am off at 5 o'clock. I needed to be trusted, not micromanaged, and I really wanted to feel invested in the health and success of the company, and I wanted to like and respect the executive I would be supporting. And most importantly, out of all these things, like, I knew I needed to work with somebody who understood and believed that they couldn't do what they did without my work supporting them along the way. My present role I found through word of mouth. I told everybody that I knew that I was quitting my job and starting my own company, and somehow somebody that I just happened to live in the same city with, be part of the same co-working facility, knew a guy who needed a gal, and March of 2025, so just a few short weeks from now, will mark 11 total years working with my executive, like the completion of year number 11 and the start of year number 12. I love working with my executive, and he makes me feel smart, skilled, appreciated, and like a partner, because I am all of those things. You know, both of us came to the table wanting that kind of executive to executive assistant relationship, and we got it. You know, it wasn't necessarily there from day one, but it's definitely something that we have prioritized and worked on over the years that we've been together, and over the pivots that my executive has had in his career, and all of the new skills that I've learned along the way. And roles like this may be rare. I mean, I can speak from experience. It's not every day that you find somebody who respects you, who treats you well, who values your work and understands the value of you working with them rather than the attitude of you working for them. But truly, that seemingly small mental and verbal shift from thinking of yourself as working for someone to working with someone, it's extremely powerful. And especially setting that expectation with your executive. I get questions all the time. Hey, Jess, I'm starting a new role. I'm starting my first executive assistant role. I took time away from the office, and I am coming back after several years in a different career or being a stay-at-home parent. What are some things that you recommend coming into my new role? Like whatever angle it is that you're coming into your new role, whether it's you as a new executive assistant, your executive has never had an EA before, you're coming at it from an extended break, whatever the reasoning and whatever the angle is that you are coming at it, this is the number one thing to bring to the table, is that you are working with each other. You are working with your executive. You are supporting them. You are not here to be someone that works for them. For carries the connotation of obsequiousness, of waiting on or attending on another person, which, depending on your company, depending on your line of work, depending on your personality, your personal preferences, might be what you want. For me personally, I am a career administrative professional. The mindset, I don't like mindset. Like I work in such a markety, coaching mindset industry, and the word mindset, we'll talk about that some other day. But the shift of thinking about and speaking about yourself as working with somebody, it carries the connotation of cooperation, collaboration, facilitation, and assisting, like executive assisting, the work that you and I do every day. The difference may seem really small, but I personally find it so empowering and it makes me feel powerful. And I really encourage anybody listening to start implementing the shift in how you talk and think about your role, both to yourself and the others around you. I would really love to hear from anybody out there listening. What is the current state of your executive assistant to executive relationship? Are you working for your executive, or are you with them every step of the way? I fully believe that this shift in how you speak about your working relationships can be taught. It can be learned. And like many things in life and work, it's a practice every day to maintain and hone and develop. And again, I'd just really love to know your thoughts. So lay them on me, askanassistant.com. And until next week, take care.